Uh, Madam, I have made you as a co-host, and one thing is that I'll be muting all the mics of the participants. So whenever you find any problem, you check. I mean, unmute the mic, and then you can check that once a day. Okay. Okay. Now we'll start the meeting.
Sure, sir.
Good morning to you all the all the participants. It is
Good morning,
very
sir.
morning to you all. It's very important meeting, enhancement of basic interview skills. For your information, this meeting was supposed to be held at the last time. Due to some technical issues, the meeting is postponed, and for the benefit of all the students, it is a very comprehensive interview skills meeting. Never so far I've seen in my career, in my lifetime, the best presentation the the speaker has mm, designed for you. It's a very important. And then I want to um, inform about the speaker. Speaker is Padmaja Kalyani Garu is a company secretary by profession and a practicing advocate, and clubbed with a teaching experience for BTech, MBA students, and active speaker for various events, coupled with good verbal and written communication skills. She is a master's in business administration with more than half a decade of experience in practice and also 5 years experience in employment. She has the knowledge and skill of handling diverse works in different categories. Her expertise spans over legal services, drafting works, secretarial services, FEMA matters, advisory services. Her specialization is corporate laws with practice in the High Court, National Company Law Tribunal, and consumer firms. Apart from that, she handled Master of Ceremony for inauguration of Company Secretaries of India Center of Excellence at Hyderabad. And in the presence of uh, Sri M. Venkaya Naidu, Honorable Vice President of India, handled listing of GHMC municipal bonds in Bombay Stock Exchange. It is a very important. The stock exchange. She has handled the government bonds. It is not a small matter. It's not a small one. It is a actually the senior most persons handle this. So she has the capabilities as a company secretary, as an advocate, handling the PR matters also. Now I've introduced the speaker. Now the floor is open for our speaker, Padmaja Kalyani Garu, to open up the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. It's in fact I'm so much obliged to be here. It's my opportunity to take action today on interview skills, and whatever I know about interview skills, or that is a very basic thing. Whatever I know about it, I would be sharing with all of you. It would be, as sir has already said, after some time, like after half an hour, 40 minutes, it would be an interactive one, so that whatever doubts you have, you can ask me, because it would be a win-win for you. I would be able to learn many things from all of the participants today, and whatever I know, I would be sharing it with you. So, but before starting about interview, what is interview? Because we always say we have an interview. We always keep saying we have an interview. What it is? We always think interview means it's about one person is sitting in front of you and he keeps asking you questions. But we do not get exactly what it is. Inter means what? Because what is when we interact? That's what happens. Inter means two. That is the reason interview is a two-way communication, but we tend to miss out one-side communication. What we think is one person is asking us questions, we keep telling the answers. But that is not the fact. It is the other way also. We also get to ask a question to the interviewer, because when you are choosing a company, and you are about to work there, you're about to dedicate a lot of your time there, like daily 9 hours. It does mean that when you're choosing a company, it is your right to select and to know about the company where you're about to work. As they are selecting you, it is your right to select the company as well. So with this, we start off today's topic, which is enhancement of basic interview skills. And as sir has already introduced, I'm Padmaja Kalyani, ACS LLB MBA. I would like to start off, as I've already said, sir, I've shared the screen, so this is visible, no?
Yes, madam.
Okay, sir. As I've already said, it is all, we have one word, interact. Similarly, interview. You view each other. It is not only about one view, it is interview. That is the reason you view the interviewer as well, and you view the company also as well. In fact, we miss out on one thing, initial stage itself. While appearing for the interview also, we do not decide whether the company profile or whether the job profile, whatever has come up, does it suit me or does it match my future goals? So if we look into it and appear for the interview, this is the first step where you're confident enough. Because I'm a company secretary. If I go and appear for an interview in a CA firm, will I be confident in that interview? Even though I have maybe having many skills that I can communicate well, everything, but I don't have the technical knowledge because that job profile doesn't suit me at all. That is not my area. But if I go into a company secretary firm or for a company secretary position, then I will be part my skills or reflect my skills in a much better way. That is the reason you should also be viewing the company before appearing there. Similarly, they also have their requirements. They give that eligibility criteria. Okay, this is next. These are the requirements. This is the experience that is required. That is where it starts off. This is a very basic thing, which I would put it. I would put an interview in a very simple language. That is, it is a formal structured meeting with an objective where both the interviewer and interview know about each other. It's not only one way, it's always both the way. And why structured? HR always has a set of questions in front of him, and he would be asking those questions from you. It's not a random, okay, hi, hello, how are you? Let us sit and talk. It's not like that. It is always a structured meeting. That is the reason it is called a structured meeting, and there is an objective. The interviewer has an objective to select one candidate for the job profile. So here, what the interviewer does, he sees if the applicant is okay for the job or not, and at the same time, the interviewer viewee also sees whether the job profile is okay for me or not. Means where I want to grow, will this job profile take me there? That is how it is called. And for this interview, this is attending an interview is not that difficult as we assume it to be, because we always keep hearing practice makes a man perfect, and failures are the stepping stones to success. There are many things which we hear, but when it comes to at the same time, when it comes to interview, these all things will come into action. Because if you see, first interview you will attend, what is going to happen? Maybe it might go very well, maybe it might be a bit okay, or maybe it might not be okay. But what will happen is, the good part about you will be able, sir, is my voice breaking? Is it okay?
Sorry, madam.
Is my voice breaking?
So that is what I'll do, because I will mute all the mics. So you can unmute and talk, madam, so that others' voices can be okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now it's okay.
So this interview journey, this is again a small journey where from your, but it is, you think that interview is just about 1/2 an hour or 10 minutes or something like that for 15 minutes. But it is a journey where it begins from the day you start your graduation, you start acquiring the technical knowledge, then you acquire the soft skills, and then you appear in the interview. To take through this journey, we will be taking how would you go through, how would you cross a sea or an ocean? How would you cross it? You would be taking some vehicle. So for this interview, you will be having a ship. And what is ship? It is skill set and preparation, honesty, interview strategies, and passion. Why did I say it's a journey? You might have heard this thing, or well, if you appear for an interview and if you say that I would like to take a CTC of per month 30K, why will he pay you 30K? Is it just because you have appeared for the interview or for the job? No, it is because of the 4 years or the 5 years which you have toiled hard to acquire that knowledge. For that, you will be paid now. That is the reason this is called a journey. And from the very beginning, you have joined your graduation. You have this thing in mind. If I join BTech, I know what I'm going to do next. If you join MBA or BBA, you know what you're going to do next. Here, from the very beginning, you start acquiring the knowledge, whatever is required. So that is skill set. Here, I would like to mention about one thing when you're appearing for an interview. There is something called as halo effect. What is halo effect? For example, you get a marriage, if there is a marriage proposal. So photo comes to you. And the minute you see the photo, the minute you see the person's photo, whomever you see, you feel, wow, the person might be really good seeing the photo. So your mind already has an impression that the person is good. The minute you meet the person, when you talk to the person also, you talk to the person in a positive way because your mind is tuned in that way. Halo effect, which always works in an interview. Because the minute you send your resume or your CV, that creates a halo effect on the mind of the interviewer. He already has, okay, this candidate has so much of knowledge, or he has done so many things. The interviewer already starts thinking about it. The minute you start speaking, he will be listening to you in a positive way. Here, your honesty comes into picture. You should not break that impression by being dishonest. If you know something, very good. If you do not know something, be honest to the interviewer. Okay, I've read somewhere, I'll just something I barely recollect. That's not, whatever it is, you should be honest about it. Okay, I know this thing. If I don't know, sir, I have read about it, or I know only this much about it. I would like to get back to you on this. Again, that would be a very proper and honest answer to the person, to the interviewer. At the same time, interview strategies. Whatever we are about to discuss in the next slides, that would be your interview strategies. But for everything, there should be a driving force, and that is passion. So here, this is how it is. Skill set. These are few of the terminology. There are many when it comes to skill set. But honesty, which is your key to confidence. If I am honest enough, I do not have to worry. If I lie, that is where I have to worry. Okay, last time what did I say? I have to remember just to make it up. But if you're honest enough, don't worry. You can just be yourself. That will show your confidence in your body language.
Excuse me, madam, you have not changed the slides. Actually, is only this first slide only is there. Other slides have not appeared.
Oh, sir, I'm in the third slide.
అది థర్డ్ ఇక్కడ ఓన్లీ ఫస్ట్ స్లైడ్ మాత్రం ఉందండి. Just
now, okay, sir.
Now it's okay. And now it's okay. Okay.
Now okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is where and the last, but the most important thing, that is passion, because this is something which is going to set you apart from the crowd. We always say that if you're proactive enough, you are going to get a chance. Similarly, if you're passionate about your job, or about the work what you're about to do, it will show in your body language automatically. You need not do anything specific for that, but you should have that driving force in you to take it. Okay, I want to do it. That is what it is called, a passion. These are few of the attributes which I was saying, that is interview strategies. These are few of the attributes. There are many, but the basic and the major ones which are going to help you out in an interview are these. They are first impression, which I said about the halo effect, body language, which I've already been speaking about, that confidence will reflect in your body language. Honesty will lead to confidence. Confidence will reflect in your body language automatically. Similarly, your knowledge and the skill set, whatever you possess, it will reflect in your body language. Next is your listen, dressing style, research about the company, subject knowledge, resume, punctuality. We'll go through them in very brief, one by one. What is the very important thing is resume or CV. We have a confusion between resume and CV. Anything we say, okay, this is my resume, or anything we say, this is my CV. We do always have a confusion, or we are not very clear what a resume is, what a CV is. But be very clear or be thorough with your resume. That is very, very important, because resume, the basic difference is when you're a fresher, it is a CV. And when you're an experienced person, you have many attributes to add in it, in your profile. That becomes a resume. So when you're speaking or when you're preparing, do not make it a copy paste. Be thorough with whatever you're writing in your resume, because interviewer will ask you questions from that only. He's not going to ask you something out of the box. He would be asking whatever you have done. And let me tell you, an HR takes only about 2 seconds to judge a resume. He doesn't take more than that, because he would be having so many applications. If he starts giving time on everyone, it would be really difficult for him. Just go through the resume, that's it. It is done for him. There itself, he has decided, half decision is taken there itself. Remaining half is up to you. That is the reason when you're preparing a resume, be very careful for not using any jargons. The grammar and spell check should be very proper, because if you do not concentrate on your resume, or if you do not pay attention to your resume, the interviewer will have an impression that when you're not able to pay attention to your resume, you will not be paying attention to the job as well. Both are related. That is the reason. Second very important thing is, we go for interview drives, campus placements, interview drives. But one thing which we miss out is, but now when we go for a specific, it's different. But when we are going for a campus drive, one thing which we miss out is research about the company. Go through the website of the company and see where the company is placed, how the company is performing, not very detailed, at least the basic information. This will help you in 2 ways. First, it will help you to decide how your future growth in that company will be. Second, it will help you to ask questions from your end in the interview, which is very, very important. And the third most important thing, the interviewer will be very happy that you have done a background check and you have come. It means you are really interested in the job. It will create a very good impression on him. That is the reason. Just go through about the company. Basic knowledge about it is very important. Any other information you can ask in the interview. But when they say any questions from your end, you can ask them. Here, when you're presenting itself, first impression is the last impression. Similarly, your dressing style does matter a lot. If you go in heavy, as if you're going for a party wear, do you really think the interviewer would sit and talk to you? He would be of an opinion that you've come for a party or you're going to a party. So he would not sit and talk to you in a formal way. He would not ask you the questions which he has already thought. So your dressing style matters a lot. And be very careful that whatever your dressing style is, you are comfortable in it. Now, when it comes to first impression, I've already said about halo effect. Smile always matters. Firm handshake, not too tight, and not too low confidence, because it shows if it is very loose, it is low confidence, not too tight. No fidgeting with your hands, and you should always maintain eye contact. Second, the next thing is listen. When we listen to the person, we get to know what he's speaking. Do not speak first. Let him speak. Let him do the speaking first. Because when he is speaking, you will be able to know what he is expecting from you. And accordingly, you can present your answers. Because if you speak first, you'll not be able to know what is there on the mind of the interviewer. It is said when you have a confident body language, try to match your body language with the interviewer. Why? Because you will be able to know what is on his mind. And if you know what is on his mind, you can present yourself anytime very well. You can, in fact, whatever answers he wants, you can give them very well. Everyone might have watched this movie, Chak De. There is one sentence, what Shah Rukh Khan says at the end. Goal, ball, I don't exactly remember the wordings, but goal pe mat maro, goalkeeper ke dimag ko samjho, and then make the goal. So here, understand what he has on his mind, and then you speak. That would be very, very easy for you. At the same time, punctuality, because if you don't arrive on time and if you're late, catching a running bus and if you're late, then the interviewer will again be of an impression that if you're not serious enough for the job interview, then why would I be serious enough to take you? And how serious would you be after joining the company? That is the reason you should be early enough, not very, but properly on time, before 10-15 minutes before. Here, you also get time to relax and then maintain your calm and enter the room of the interview. Let me tell you something here. When you're entering the room, or when you're entering for the interview, 80% of the thoughts what you have at the time of interview will decide whether you're being selected or not. Because that 80% will build up your confidence, and that 80% will show in your body language. So the minute you are entering into the room of the interview, whatever you think is very, very important. That is the reason we have to be calm, composed, and then enter into the interview. That is where your body language will also speak about you, because 60% of your body language speaks, and the remaining is your technical knowledge. That is the reason this thing is a non-verbal communication is very, very important. Apart from all these, I would never, this is always said, subject knowledge, yes, that is the key to everything. If you know your subject, you're confident. If you do not know your subject, you're not confident, because you would be thinking, if he asks me this question, what will I answer? You'll have that thing on your mind running. But if you know the subject, okay, let him ask me questions. Whatever I know, I'll be able to say. Then you will be confident enough. That is clearly visible. Spoken about the attributes of interview. There are many types of interviews apart from the traditional one, which are being taken by interviewers now. There are many types. The traditional one-to-one is always there. Apart from that, you have the panel interview, the stress interview. Panel interview is where there are 3-4 interviewers sitting in front of you, and they ask you one by one the question. Here is a bit tricky, because if you have to see one person, is different. If you see 3-4 people in front of you, it's different. So here one small trick will be there. Do not try to, when you see all the 4, do not try to get affected by the expressions of all the 4, because here they have that thing that when they sit together, one person will be a bit serious. If you have observed this, who would make you nervous? So that is the reason. Look at the person who is looking at you and talking to you, and just be comfortable about it. They do that thing just to assess how much confident you are or how much nervous you are. That is just a trick of the HR. So do not just go away by it, because they do it. voluntarily or they do a janbujhkar thing. That is the reason. Do not get floored by it. Do not look at that person. Just look at him, smile, that's it. But do not get affected by all the 4 people. Otherwise, your interview is really going to get affected. They only do a stress interview. Stress interview is one question, one after the other, questions one after the other. It is to check how fast you are or how instantly you can think. One thing, if you are a bit nervous in an interview, it is always good, because when you're nervous, we tend to be good about the interview. But if you're not nervous, this much nervous, if you're not nervous, then you become that confidence will take you to overconfidence, which you will not even know when you have crossed that line, that thin line. So little bit nervous is always good, because you tend to stay on the ground and answer the questions. That is the reason this stress interview is conducted, to see how you can handle stressful situations. Because when you join a company, there are many situations where you have to work under pressure. Whether you are able to handle it or not is very important. Lunch interview is a new type of interview which is taking place from the last 4-5 years. They talk to you over lunch and take the interview. This is a very comfortable form of interview. Now, psychometric interview, this is again questions which there is no right or wrong to a psychometric interview. They would be assessing your thoughts. They would be assessing how you would tackle a situation. So psychometric interview is mostly how you would tackle some, it would happen to see that if you're stuck up in a situation where you're not able to move forward, you have to convince your team, you have to convince your boss at the same time, you have to be fine with the client at the same time. How would you tackle such situations? So here, how your mind responds is very, very important. That is the reason psychometric interviews are taken. Phone interview, COVID, it has been taking place before COVID as well. Now it has increased a lot because of the digitalization. Technical is there always, because they would like to assess your knowledge. And case studies, they will be presenting you a case. How would you how would you deal with that situation? Now, these are the types of questions which they can ask you. Out of these open-ended questions, there are many questions. These are just examples of all the types of questions. There are many questions. For every type of question, one small trick I would like to tell you. One, open-ended. Here, do not be vague. And whenever you're saying something, like, for example, when we say, tell us something about yourself, or tell us about your hobbies, or tell us something about your opinion. These are all open-ended questions. Here, when we speak, there is nothing right or wrong, but be honest and be specific. If I say, I have many friends, I'm a friendly person, I have many friends, I like to party, these are not proper answers. But if you say, what are your interests? It is not about, you always need to say that you like book reading. You can say anything about yourself, and 1 or 2 things do present in it which is not there in the resume. An interviewer will be asking you open-ended questions so that he would like to know something more about you which is not there in the resume. So, okay, you have your resume in front of you. They ask you tell me about something about yourself. You start saying, I've done my MBA, this. You're speaking again everything which is there in the interview. Speak 1 or 2 things which is not there in the resume and which is relevant to your job profile. That will help you to make yourself apart from the other candidates. That will be helping you in an open-ended question. Similarly, now when it comes to close-ended, these are something which is mentioned in your resume. It is just 1-word answer. What was your percentile, or what was your major? These are all questions these are factual questions. You do not have anything to describe about it. Now coming to behavioral. If the interviewer asks, you have mentioned in your attributes, positive things, that you are very good at teamwork. How? Or if he says, tell something positive about yourself, behavioral, then you would say, I'm very good in teamwork. That's it. But next, do not just keep the answer there. Explain to it. In my previous job, we had handled like this. There we had done this project very successfully, and we had done it as a team. For a fresher in my college, I had managed this event, and we had done it very successfully. Quote an example to it, because your behavior should be quoted with an example. It should not be just, I'm a very positive thinker. That's it. How is important. In behavioral questions, this is very, very important. Probing. Here, they would like to know more about you. So, they would like to take your opinion. So you can give your opinion. Nothing. It is not like if you ask me which political party is good, I need not always say what you like. It is my opinion as well, but do not be very stringent about it. If you have an opinion, just say in my opinion and say it, but do not be very stringent about it. Hypothetical or situational, this is again a case study. They would be giving a situation and they'll be asking you how to represent it. Performance related, this is very, very important. It is always said, if you do not believe in yourself, no one is going to believe you. So performance related, you have to say. And we always say, there is one very old Greek saying, out of nothing, nothing comes. So similarly, and at the same time, whatever, if you have, only you can sell yourself in the room. So in this performance related, if they ask you, why should we hire you? Or what is something about you that makes you apart from the other candidates? If you cannot present yourself, or if you cannot do that sales pitch properly, then why will the other person believe in you? If you believe in you, that is when the others will believe in you. You're projecting, you're not something which you have not done, but yes, whatever you have done, say it with confidence and say it that you are happy about it. Okay, I've done this. If you say in this tone, it's not going to help you. It should be, you should be happy that you have achieved this. You should be happy that you have this degree. And that is how you project yourself. So if your sales pitch is good, you're ought to get selected. That is what I've already said. Only you can sell yourself in the room. And what the interviewer says, if you show me that you have this quality, we are bound to take you in the company. That is the reason. A positive attitude, avoid criticism, attention, clarity, focus, logical thinking, ask questions, and a thank you note or a closing note is very, very important. These are few of the imperatives for an interview, which you do have to keep in mind when you're going. One best thing what you can do is, before going for an interview, prepare yourself, have a mock interview in front of the mirror. Any second, third person is really good if you are doing it with your friend or anyone. But at the same time, if you do it in front of the mirror, you yourself can see yourself. When you see yourself, you know how your hand movements are, how your hand gestures are, how your facial movements are. This will help you to figure out how to present yourself in the interview. In the mirror, if you face yourself, you can face the world. So don't worry about it. These are few of the common mistakes we do. Negative attitude, nahi hua to mere se. That's okay. If it doesn't happen, there is one more company waiting for you. You will put in your best here. Try to do it your best, but do not have that negative attitude and enter. As I earlier said, whatever thoughts are on your mind, at the time of entering the interview, 80% will decide whether you will be getting selected or not. Lack of preparation, it will lower your confidence level and clarity of future goals. I am intending to be a resolution professional, IRP, but I go and join an accountancy firm. I'm not very clear what to do. So that will not help me in the interview because I'm not sure what I want to do. No knowledge of job and company, only focus on remuneration from the very beginning. Okay, what is the pay package? no enthusiasm, and criticism of the previous employer. These are few of the common mistakes we tend to do out of nervousness, out of few other reasons, but these will lead to a poor performance in the interview. So do take care of these things. This I have already said. This is a very small story which I wanted to present. This is a very, it was one summer when there was a grasshopper. It was just singing, it was having fun. Exactly at that time, ant came, and then the ant was carrying food to its place. The grasshopper said, "Why are you working now? It's summer. Winter is yet to come, very long. Why about now only? Why are you doing it now?" The ant said, "Let us have some, let us play together." The ant says, "If I do not prepare now, then later it would be really difficult." But it did not tell the grasshopper. It was quiet and it kept on doing its work. At the end, when winter came, the grasshopper had nothing to eat, but the ant had ample to eat. This is just a small example of the first thing which I had said in the initial slide, that interview is a journey. It is not about one day or 115 minutes. It is about the whole graduation which you do. Because from the very beginning, you start acquiring the skill set. If I think interview में तो time है, I'll prepare exactly before the day of interview. Then one day everything is possible. From the very beginning, if you start doing it, last day you will not know about it. That is the reason we keep hearing our mothers keep saying when we are writing, when we have exams or something. Before that, they keep saying every day, prepare, study whatever is taught in school today itself. Do not wait till the exams to come. Keep on reading. That's what our parents keep telling us. Study from the very first day, so that last day it doesn't pile up on you. That is what happens in an interview also. Every small thing, whatever you prepare from the beginning, will affect you in the interview. So this is a very short story, means very small example of it. This was as I had already said in the beginning, for next 30-40 minutes, I would like to share whatever I have experienced. Sir, Prakash sir, I would like to keep the floor open now for questions.
Because yeah, definitely.
Questions more.
You can ask. All the participants, you can interact with the madam. Okay, please open up. Hello, participants, you can talk. Open up your ear, unmute the mics and then can talk. All of you, unmute the mics. Hello. Hello. Request the participants, whoever have any queries, you can unmute the mic and talk, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Chapan.
Good morning.
Ma'am, my doubt is, are our photos really necessary in resumes or CVs?
May I know your name, please?
My name is G. Hemant Sai.
Yes, Hemant, tell me.
Ma'am, are photos really necessary in interviews and CVs?
It is not.
Almas, please. Yes, madam.
Yes, sir.
Sandeep, yeah. No,
No,
he was mentioning about to
yes,
paste
Hemant.
the photos on the
Yeah.
CVs.
Photo is mandatory or not on the CV. There is no specific rule that you should keep your photo on it.
Okay.
If you place your photo on your CV and with the proper formal photograph, it does create an impression on the interviewer that this person is confident enough to reflect himself. So this
Okay.
is mandate. It is your choice to take.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, I have one more doubt.
Sure.
Ma'am, I've been having this doubt for a lot of years. What is the right to approach for this question? Why should we hire you?
If I ask you why should we hire you, what would be your answer in just one sentence?
Because the company needs the company needs workers to work.
There are many standing outside. Why only?
Yeah. Because I think I might be the right person to work in this company because I have some qualifications.
Every person has the same qualification because we have
Yeah.
already said these are the eligibility criteria.
Yeah.
So why you? No,
That's why I didn't think.
no, I'm just asking you because this becomes a probing question. Why?
Yeah.
As you had already said, I have few qualifications which will be helpful for the company.
Mm.
Here, quote example.
Okay.
Because when we say there are few things which are interrelated here. When we say why should we hire you, when you
Okay.
know what the company requires, because from the very beginning the interviewer keeps speaking without breaking him or without interrupting him, listen to him. You will
Okay.
see what are the requirements which he has or what
Okay.
looking out for. Exactly, depending on that. If he looking out for some person who can work under stress, because
Okay.
the job is like that, position yourself in that way. When they say, why should we hire you? One major reason why you should hire me is I can work under stress. Let's
Okay.
start with an example. You tell an example where you have performed under that and you have given very good results. Means your performance has been really significant in the previous company or in your college. When you
Okay.
have that qualification, plus second thing, which is additional or complementary to it, you can just quote that as well. That is where he would be impressed by you. When
Okay, ma'am.
we should hire you, do not always speak what is there in your resume. Here you should say, means that I'm not saying exactly that, but a proper answer can be like this. Why you should, if you ask me, why should we hire you? I would say, I'm a qualified company secretary with more than this many years of experience. My experience will help me to impart more information in the system in your company, and it will help me to build up legal compliances in a better way. Because in my previous employment, where it was a SEBI registered, a listed company, I have not
Okay.
missed out a single compliance. In the last 5 years, I have not even missed, there was not even a single non-compliance. That is the reason I would take care the same thing in this company as well. That is one major point why you should hire me.
Okay.
In addition to it, I have this qualification also, which will become an additional knowledge, which will become an additional point, or it will help me to coordinate with the other departments in the company. That is,
Okay.
you will be having, and I can utilize my knowledge, and you will get a person who can who can coordinate with many departments, which will be a win-win situation for both of us.
Okay.
Answer can be something like that. I'm not saying exactly.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
This will help you in that way.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
The next one. Yes, Shailaja. Acha, madam, I have one thing.
Yes, sir.
See, because our students are, they're getting training in practical accounting and practical taxation. It is like
Yes,
a
sir.
substitute for working experience. So that's the reason they have the doubts, because I say that their biodatas have to comprise with the training courses that they have attended, and also have to give that full details about the training they have got from us, like, so that it will help for that in that skill set for the companies.
Okay.
So how do you advise them to put it in the biodata? Whatever the training. Yeah.
Whatever training they are undergoing now,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always better to highlight their strong points in that training.
Yes.
Because we do a training course, there are many topics on which we do.
Yeah.
We cover many topics when we are undergoing like 1 year training, 2 year trainings. There are many things which we do. Out of them, around, because we cannot write each and everything in the CV. What we can do is the major 10 things which you have a very good hands-on on it. If they put it in that, they can synchronize that points to the job profile.
Yeah.
What this is the training which I have done, and it was a full-fledged training, not a distance learning or something.
Yeah.
It was a full-time course which I have done, and these are the things where I have excelled during my training.
Yes.
And I have a proper working hands-on on these topics. As I can see in your company, these things are also, these things are required. So my knowledge on these topics will help, or which will help you at the same time to build up better systems.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
saying it is practical accountancy, it is a mandate, or it is a core in each and every company.
Yes. Yes.
Companies. So there they can say, I have acquired these skills which are very required in your company. Every company will be requiring it. They can say these are required in your company. My knowledge can be utilized here.
As to because it's in case of a fresher with a BCom, or a BCom with our course, or BCom MBA with these course means say they have the special skills compared to a fresh candidate.
Yes,
the
sir.
pressure for the college.
That is what makes me, and they can say that is what makes me apart from an graduate, because I have done this course as well, which is a specialization.
Yes. Yes.
Which I have done this as a specialization, and it will surely help in the company.
Thank you. Thank you. Any more candidates? Any more queries, please?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, actually, I just want to ask if the interviewer asks some question and if we don't know the answer, so how should we tackle it?
If you really do not know the answer, be honest. If you have heard about it somewhere, like you, because many times we read many things. Sometimes it you remember half of it and half of it is skipped. Then again, be honest that, sir, I have gone through this topic. Although I remember this much, remaining, I would like to go back to it again and again read it. But whatever you know, you can speak about it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Be honest there.
Okay.
Ma'am, good morning, madam. My name is K. Raju.
Good morning, Rajgal.
Madam, I have one question. Why you want to change company, one organization to another?
Give a genuine reason. Because in case if you are looking out, if you have shifted your place, you can say this is the reason I'm changing. If you are looking out for growth, you can say I would like to explore my skills in another organization. That is the reason I'm shifting. Although that company was really good, never criticize the previous employer. It was really good. I did have a scope of working there very well, and I did put in my best there. Now I'm looking out for this goal. Like you would be having a clarity in your future goal. That is the reason you would be looking out. I'm looking out for this specific goal in my future down the lane after 5 years. That is tending to change. Although the previous company was really good, as I had put in my efforts there, I'll put there also.
Okay, madam.
So whatever, if it is a personal reason, you can quote it anytime. But if you're looking out for some price hike or salary hike, do not say I'm looking out for salary hike. You can say you would like to out of the skills which you have acquired during your study, during your previous employment. Now you would like to explore more and you're for other growth prospects. That is the reason you're shifting.
Madam, one more question, madam.
Sure.
That about hardworking. How to express about hardworking?
You're very hardworking, if you say.
Yeah.
You're very hardworking. Quote an example. If I ask you, how are you hardworking? What example will you give me? Because for every attribute which we do in our professional life, not personal, in our office or in our job, we have something to substantiate it. How would you say that you're hardworking? If you're given in your previous employment or during your training, you had to complete around 5 assignments in 1 week. And at the same time, you had to finish your training also. And you had to help others also. These all attributes show that you are hardworking.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So there you quoted that I have been doing these things at the same time. All these things clubbed together since I am hardworking. I have been doing all these things. This shows that I'm like this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Example, like how you have helped others at the same. Hardworking means what? You have been doing many things at the same time. So that is what you have to quote it. But remember to quote that at the same time I've been managing many things in a smart, because being a smart worker is the new style now.
Okay, ma'am.
Hardworking.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any more, please?
Good morning, madam.
Good
This
morning,
is
madam.
Sandeep.
Good morning.
Madam, my name is Vasanta.
Hi.
I am
Vasant.
from Bahrain, madam. Ma'am, actually, I did my MBA Finance
Okay.
in 2012 batch, and
Okay.
after that, 2 years, I have a experience in billing executive, like
Okay.
accounts receivable. Now,
Okay.
after that, I get a marry, and I have I taken so much time, 8 years after getting marriage, and I have one son also. So
Okay.
now
Wow.
I want to prepare my resume, madam. So
Okay.
in that resume, can I write my MBA specialization or project is important, or can I write my previous job responsibilities, like which I
Both.
what is the object? If I done this course in last month, madam. Just
Okay.
it is under. Can I write in skills or experience based?
You're doing a course now, or have you done the course?
Yes, madam. I done this course.
So it is a course which there you can write additional qualification.
Additional qualification only.
You can put it in additional because that is an additional thing which you have acquired. It is not through your MBA you have acquired. You have acquired it separately.
Okay, ma'am. I think that is my experience. Can I write in my experience? I added in. Can I add it in my resume also, ma'am?
The one which you have earlier worked, previous employment.
Previous on that 2014 onwards. Now I taken a big long gap.
Sure. No, you should add experience, because since you have taken a break, you can always say, because the interviewer will be having a question, why such a long break? So you can always say that I have
They
been.
question me why you are taken this the long gap. What I tell, ma'am? What I the answer them?
First thing, I have done MBA and I have worked with a company. This shows that I always wanted to work. Due to my personal responsibilities, I had taken a break by my choice voluntarily. Even though I have taken a break, I have been brushing up my skills by helping my friends managing their accounts, because this is something which is not shown to them. You need not require a certificate for that. You can say that I have not lost touch with my subject. I've been helping my friends in their business, in their accounts from my house, because my family, my son was a priority. I would get back. That is the reason I've done this course and I'm coming back now to do the. So my interest or my passion towards my work has kept me moving till date.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Can you tell me the object, ma'am, please? A few points about object or introduction about ourselves, like in resume, what we written in that objective, impressive object. Can you
Impressive
tell me
object.
few points about?
See, in resume, in objective, many times what we do is whatever is written there, we copy paste it. Try to modify it according to you. Like you tell, what you might be having something on your mind. If you're joining a company, you might be having something. Why you want to join a company? Apart from getting a job, you would be having something else also in your mind, that I want to explore myself. I want to now work. Whatever knowledge I have, I want to utilize it in a practical approach. You would be having all these things on your mind. So put this thing in a decent way in the objective. To explore my skill set in the company where I'm working, and at the same time, help the company grow along with, at the same time, grow with the growth of the company. Something like this, because you would be having, I want to put in, have a practical knowledge, use my theoretical knowledge in practical. These things you can put it in the object, other than whatever is always written in the resume.
Okay. Sir, in our course, we done income tax like GST. All our sir teach us. So,
Okay.
shall we write in our resume also, ma'am? Can I mention in that? So
you can put it in bullet points, because in the course,
if they are raising that question onwards, so manually I know, but practically I don't know what about this. Practically, sir, what teachers I know.
okay.
So in practically we don't know like this. So can I mention or not clearly?
Mention those things in the resume which you're confident about.
Okay.
Because some things what we have done, but we are not very confident about it. If we mention it, and if a question comes on that, then it is going to create a negative impression. So mention those things which you're confident enough. Or what you can do is, if you want to write, yeah, I have done 5 things in my course, and you want to write all, you can put it. But when say what is the course about, you can clearly say, these are the things which we have learned. Although I have learned all these things, but I am very good at these 2 things. Then there are maximum chances that they'll ask you questions only on those 2 things. Then you can confidently answer. You put all those 5, but when they tell you what is additional qualification or what is this course about, you can clearly say, I've done this, I've learned all these, although even though these 2 I'm very good about. I have an expertise on these 2.
Okay, ma'am.
Ask you questions from that only. You can answer very well from that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
And Sandeep, somebody also is there too.
Madam, good morning.
Yes,
madam.
yes.
This is
Be
Sandeep.
fast. Yeah.
Sir, madam, what are the project related questions they asked, madam, in interview?
Sorry?
Project related questions, madam.
Project related, it depends from the project to project. Whatever project you have done, they would not go into the depth until you are in a technical round. If it's an initial round, they would just ask you, what is this project about, and what have you done in this project? But if you're in a technical round, then they would ask questions like, you might be presenting some quantitative analysis in it. How did you do this quantitative analysis? On what basis did you arrive the right results? Or what was the survey that you carried on? What are your interpretations on this project? These can be if you're in a technical round. If it is an initial round, they would not get into so much detail about your project. They would just ask you what is the project which you have done and how long was it? What have you learned from it? These are the initial questions which they ask you.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Any more queries? Because we are about to close the session. Yeah.
Hello.
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 Yes, please.
Madam, good morning, madam. Myself, Ravichandra.
Good morning.
Hello. Ma'am, actually, I have doubt about what's the differentiation between resume and curriculum vitae, ma'am. Both are same, or experience is in CV or resume? Experienced person we have to generate CV or resume. Can you explain, ma'am?
Experienced is resume.
Okay.
When you have a lot many things to add to it, then it becomes a resume.
Okay.
Because there are many things which to it. Like many times what happens is people even avoid writing resume and CV. Because since of this doubt, what they do is avoid writing it completely. They only write profile.
Okay.
Many times that is also accepted. Because what happens is sometimes you're just a fresher and at the same time you only have an experience of 1 year. Then you have a doubt what to write. Because your experience is not that huge to mention in your profile. So that is where what they do is
Yes.
so what they do is
Okay.
so that is the reason of what you can do is are having no if you are having a very short profile. Hello.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
Okay,
Yeah, ma'am.
madam.
Okay.
Yeah, you
If you are
covered
having
it.
a very short profile, so what you can do is you can just you can either write it as a profile or I'm sorry, yes, I said the vice versa. If you are having a very short profile, you can write it as resume and write it as profile. If you have a very detailed one, then it is a CV. But how long will be your question? If it is only 1 year experience, put it under resume only. Don't go for a CV.
Okay, madam. Thanks,
Okay,
Andy.
ma'am.
I think we covered it a lot, and then it was a quite interactive session, madam. And compared to the last, you see, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the entire the program will be done well, and we request you. I'm also informing the participants. We need to
Yes.
conduct each student one assessment test. Mean to say we can online interview the students and give their the marks for their each area. In case of the communication skills, you talk about that how good they are in their subject wise, or in case of their communication skills and other psychometric, all these things. So we are expecting that session shortly. If you can also guide us and help us, that will be the fine one for the students. And so now we thank you for the session and spared the time. It is a very, very interactive and good interactive session. Everybody hope all the students have enjoyed it. I request all the students, please unmute the mics and give madam a big applause for our time taken. All of you.
Thank you, sir.
All of you. Open up that discussion. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Padma
Thank
Jagat.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank-
much, sir. It was my pleasure. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
It's our pleasure to Anandi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good day. All the best.
Thank you.
All the